Head M, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Liang Eng Hwa.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that the total sum to be allocated for Head M of the estimate be reduced by $100. Mr. Chairman, one of the key thrusts of this year's budget is about ensuring fiscal prudence and sustainability. How do we manage rising expenditure, and how do we find revenue to fund this spending in the years ahead? It's a full plate for the Ministry of Finance. The Minister of Finance announced that growth of ministries' block budgets will be reduced from 0.4 times GDP to 0.3 times next year. Last year, he also announced a permanent 2% downward adjustment to the budget caps, and that the agencies are on the lookout for ways to be efficient and effective. These across-the-board measures are necessary to instill prudence and discipline in spending. It will internalize cost consciousness among the government agencies and will have an overall financial impact when aggregated across the scale of the government. The natural follow-on questions to ask is whether, with these measures in place, will the agencies go overzealous in cost management and as a result impact service delivery, or to look to increase fees? Would this downward adjustment to budget caps have an impact on planned investment by the ministries and agencies who have wanted to enhance and upgrade the system to improve efficiency and effectiveness, but now will have to shelve their plans due to budget caps? While we should be extremely prudent in our spending, we know that there can be no goodness achieved by just mindlessly cutting costs. Rather, we should look to more work-smart initiatives, process and workflows improvements, and importantly, cutting unnecessary red tape as among the areas of focus to manage costs and improve service delivery. So I like this mantra, value for money, often propagated by the Ministry of Finance. It needs no explanation, and this is a better attitude to take when we review projects rather than just say no to all spending increases. As I said during the budget statement debate, between not spending on needed essential items or cutting spending, I'd rather the government spend prudently, but look for more revenue sources so that we can continue to provide more to improve the quality of life of our people. Mr. Chairman, beyond managing efficiency within the government, we can and should also encourage and empower ground agencies to seek more local innovative solutions to local problems where we can also achieve the value for money principle. Allow me to relate a real-life example of how an enlightened decision by a secondary school principal in my constituency can achieve a value for no money outcome for the government, and yet it's a win-win situation for all. In my constituency, Senja Estate, HDB is now constructing a cluster of BTO flats known as Senja Ridges. The site of the BTO is immediately adjacent to West Spring Secondary School, and as you can imagine, the construction noises will cause tremendous noise nuisance to the students studying there. Hence, as part of the contractual arrangements, the contractor is required to build a high wall in the narrow spaces between the school and the BTO site to block off some of the noises and minimize the impact. Of course, this may well be an intuitive solution to the problem, which may partially reduce the construction noise, but it would also mean that the overall ambience of the school will be affected. Imagine the students looking out the windows. The classroom will only to be greeted by the high walls, the boring walls staring at them. Moreover, the wall will also not come cheap for the contractor, as it needs to be strong enough to withstand the vibration of the construction sites. The school and the contractor met up to discuss the project, and thanks to the good wisdom of the principal and the contractor, they agree on not building the wall. Instead, the contractor will use the money saved to install air conditioning for all the classrooms adjacent to the construction site. The school can get to keep the air conditioning machines even after the completion of the projects. As a result, students now can study in the comfort of an air-conditioned environment, which is even more effective way to block out the construction noises than compared to the wall. And to top it off, all these improvements to the environment, to the school environment, comes at no additional cost to MOE or to the government. From the contractor standpoint, they do not need to build a high wall and would not need to have to demolish the wall when the BTO project is completed, which I presume that the total cost will be more than the installation of the air conditioning. So here we have an out-of-the-box solution which is win-win for everyone. We should encourage more of such creative and smart ideas to solve local problems and tap on the power of ground-up ingenuity to get the solution out to solve local problems. The last thing we want is to have a stifling environment within the whole of government system such that good ideas and solutions do not get to see the daylight.